Why is it that a woman can reject you, disappear, or even act like she's not interested at all, only to suddenly come back later, as if she's testing the waters again? Most men see this and get confused. They think, wait a second, you didn't want me before, so why now? And here's the part most guys don't realize. Women don't always reject a man because he's not attractive or because they don't like him. Many times, rejection is more about timing, emotions, and testing than it is about a final decision. I want you to hear this from a woman's mouth, because most men never actually get this kind of honesty. Women come back after rejecting you for very specific reasons. Sometimes it's because she underestimated your value. Sometimes it's because she got caught up in emotions and acted too quickly. Other times, it's because she saw you handle the rejection in a way that made her respect you more than she expected. The truth is, rejection doesn't always mean it's over. A lot of men take it as a permanent no. But to women, it's not always that simple. A woman's feelings aren't linear. They shift, they change, and they often circle back, especially when she realizes she may have walked away from something she shouldn't have. So in this video, I'm going to break down why women actually come back after rejecting you. I'll give it to you straight, without sugarcoating, because you need to understand not only what she's doing, but also what it really means for you. And here's the kicker. When she comes back, it's not always about her wanting to stay forever. Sometimes it's about her testing if you're still an option. Stay with me, because by the end of this, you'll know exactly why women behave this way, and more importantly, how you should handle it when it happens. 1. Rejection isn't always final. It's often a test. Here's something most men don't realize. When a woman rejects you, it's not always because she truly doesn't like you. Sometimes, rejection is less about you and more about what she's feeling in that moment. Women are emotional decision makers. We go with our feelings, and those feelings change. That means a no today doesn't always stay a no tomorrow. A lot of women use rejection as a way to test. Not consciously all the time, but in the sense of wanting to see how you'll handle it. Will you fall apart? Will you beg? Will you get angry and insult her? Or will you remain calm, confident, and composed? The way you handle that moment says a lot more about you than you think. Imagine this. You show interest in a woman, and she pushes back. Maybe she says she's not ready, or she doesn't see you that way. Most guys panic. They either blow up, walk away bitter, or they start chasing harder. But here's the thing. When you don't do any of that, when you accept it with strength and keep moving with your life, she notices. And over time, that can actually pull her back toward you. Women respect men who can take rejection without losing their sense of self. It signals emotional strength. It shows that you're not desperate. It tells her, I'm a man with options, and my worth isn't defined by whether you choose me or not. That energy is powerful, and ironically, it's often what makes a woman come back. Another reason rejection isn't final is because sometimes women just want to slow things down. Maybe she feels things moving too fast. Maybe she's unsure about her own emotions. Maybe she wants to protect herself from making a bad decision. In those moments, rejection can simply mean not right now, rather than never. The important part for you as a man is not to take rejection as a personal attack. It's not always about you being not good enough. More often than not, it's about where she is mentally or emotionally. And when she later circles back, It's usually because she's had time to process and realized that what you offered was actually more valuable than she gave credit for. So remember this: rejection doesn't always mean the door is permanently shut. For women, it can be a test, a pause, or just a reflection of her emotions in that exact moment. And the men who understand this, the ones who don't beg, chase, or break down, are the ones who often see her come back. 2. Women want options, but they also want security. This is one of the biggest contradictions in female psychology. Women are drawn to options. We like knowing we can explore, test, and choose. That's part of why some women reject men, because they want to keep their options open. They may feel curious about what else is out there, even if what they already had was good. It's not always about you being unworthy. Sometimes it's about her wanting to keep her sense of freedom and possibility alive. But here's the flip side. Women don't just want options. We want security too. We want to feel like we can land on something real, something stable, something that actually lasts. And when a woman rejects a man who had the qualities of security, stability, and emotional strength, it often hits her later. She realizes that the options she thought were exciting don't give her the same sense of safety. That's usually when the thought of coming back enters her mind. This tug-of-war between options and security is why women sometimes seem inconsistent. One day she says she's not interested, and months later she's in your inbox again. It's not always logical, it's emotional. She may have tried her options, only to discover that they didn't offer what she really needed deep down. And suddenly, you start looking like the man she overlooked. Another thing to keep in mind is that women are influenced by time. The older a woman gets, the more security matters. What she thought was fun and exciting in her early 20s might not feel fulfilling later. And the men who represent stability and strength, the very men she may have once rejected, start to look a lot more valuable. That's why so many men are surprised when women who once dismissed them come back years later. Now don't misunderstand this. Not every woman who comes back is doing it because she genuinely wants you. Sometimes she comes back because she wants the feeling of security you represent, even if she doesn't truly respect you. That's where discernment comes in. Just because she reappears doesn't mean you should automatically welcome her. You have to judge whether her return is genuine or just driven by her need for comfort. So remember this: women balance two deep desires, options and security. 3. Curiosity always pulls us back. One thing you need to know about women is this: we are naturally curious. Even when we reject a man, we don't completely erase him from our mind. We might move on, date other people, or stay busy with life. But there's often a little voice that wonders, what if? Let's say a woman rejects you. She tells you she's not interested. Maybe she even says she doesn't see you that way. You step back, you don't chase, and you carry on with your life. At first, she might not even notice. She feels good about her decision. But over time, something changes. She sees that you're not watching her every move. You're not checking her social media. You're not showing up in her world anymore. And that silence gets loud. She starts asking herself questions. Did he move on? Does he like someone else? Was I wrong about him? That curiosity eats at her. Women can act like they don't care, but the truth is, when a man disappears after rejection, it plants a seed. That seed grows into curiosity, and curiosity often pushes us to circle back, even if it's just to check whether the door is still open. I've seen this play out so many times. A woman rejects a man, but when she sees him thriving, maybe he's getting attention from other women, maybe he's leveling up in life, suddenly she feels drawn to peek back in. She might send a casual message, comment on something you post, or try to reconnect as if nothing ever happened. It's not always deep feelings pulling her back. Sometimes it's just curiosity mixed with a little regret. And here's the part men don't always realize. When you don't feed her ego after rejection, you become unpredictable. She can't quite figure you out. That mystery drives her insane, because women like to feel in control of attention. When you don't give her that, she wonders, what's going on in his head? Why doesn't he want me anymore? That's when she reappears, trying to get answers without saying it directly. The lesson here is simple. Rejection doesn't erase curiosity. If anything, it can fuel it. And often curiosity is what pulls a woman back after she's already told you no. 4. Comfort is a powerful magnet. Here's a truth most men overlook. Women are drawn back to comfort. Even after rejecting you, a woman can come back simply because being around you once gave her a sense of safety, ease, or familiarity. Women crave emotional comfort just as much as we crave excitement. And if you once gave her that, even in small ways, it stays in her memory. Think about it. When she rejected you, it might have been about options, timing, or emotions in the moment. But later, when life gets overwhelming, when other men disappoint her, or when she feels lonely, her mind wanders back to the places and people who made her feel secure. If you were that guy, calm, grounded, and steady, she'll remember. That memory can be enough to make her reach out again. Now here's the catch. Women don't always come back out of genuine attraction. Sometimes it's just about wanting to feel that comfort again. She might not even be aware of it consciously. It's that emotional pull of, I felt good around him. I felt seen. I felt safe. Comfort is powerful because it's rare. A lot of men bring stress, drama, or inconsistency into a woman's life. If you are different, you'll stand out. But here's where you need to protect yourself. Don't confuse her craving for comfort with her wanting a real relationship. Some women come back to dip into that comfort when they need it, but they don't stay. They'll take the reassurance, the kindness, the stability, and then leave again once they feel better. That's why it's important for you to evaluate her actions, not just her return. At the same time, if her comeback is genuine, comfort can actually reignite attraction. When a woman feels emotionally safe with a man, her guard drops. She can relax, open up, and connect more deeply. And that's when attraction starts to grow in a more meaningful way. So yes, comfort can make her come back. But whether she stays depends on the foundation you set and whether she respects you. The point is this. Comfort is one of the strongest magnets in female psychology. Rejection doesn't erase it. If you once made her feel good in a way others don't be surprised if she reappears. 5. Stop letting recycled women back in. Now I'm going to be real with you, because this is where most men get it wrong. A woman rejects you, walks away, ignores your value, and then later comes back. And what do a lot of guys do? They open the door wide like nothing ever happened. They're just happy she's finally showing interest. But here's the truth you need to hear. Not every woman who comes back deserves another chance. When a woman rejects you, she's showing you something important. Where you stood in her eyes at that time. And if she only comes back because she's bored, lonely, or her other options failed, That's not respect. That's convenience. Too many men mistake convenience for attraction. Don't fall into that trap. You've got to ask yourself, is she coming back because she truly sees my value now? Or is she coming back because her ego needs a boost? Because she's lonely? Because life didn't give her what she expected? If it's the latter, then she's not coming back for you. She's coming back for herself. And if you accept that, you're telling her you're fine being second choice. Men need to stop treating every comeback like a victory. It's not. Sometimes it's actually a test of your self-respect. If you take her back too quickly, she'll lose respect all over again. Why? Because women don't value what's too easy to reclaim. If you don't make her earn her way back, she'll treat you the same way she did before, as someone she can reject, walk away from, and return to whenever it suits her. Now, don't get me wrong, some women do come back sincerely. People make mistakes, they grow, they realize what they lost. That's real. But you can't assume that's the case every time. You have to judge by her actions, not her words. Does she show consistency, effort, genuine respect for you this time around? Or is she just checking if you're still available as her backup plan? The wake-up call here is simple. You are not a safety net. You're not a spare tire. You're not someone's comfort zone when the world gets hard. You're a man with value. And unless she comes back with real respect and a clear recognition of that value, you need to move on. Because the truth is, when you finally respect yourself enough to close the door on recycled women, that's when the right woman, one who never takes you for granted, will show up. I want you to let this sink in. A woman coming back after rejecting you is not always a win. Sometimes, it's actually a test of how much you value yourself. If you welcome every woman back without thinking, you're telling her you don't require respect, only attention. And no matter how much she pretends otherwise, women don't stay attracted to men who can't stand firm on their own worth. You need to understand this. Women respect men who are willing to walk away and who actually stay gone when respect isn't there. That's what makes a woman rethink, regret, and even chase. But if you fold the second she reappears, she'll know she still has control. And once a woman feels she has control over you, attraction dies, even if she doesn't admit it out loud. So here's my challenge to you. Stop treating every comeback like a prize. Start asking yourself the hard questions. Why is she here now? What does she really want? Does she see my value? Or just need a temporary fix for her ego? When you start filtering women through those questions, your dating life will change. Now I want to hear from you. Has a woman ever rejected you, disappeared, and then tried to come back later? How did you handle it? Drop your story in the comments. I'll be reading them and joining the conversation with you. Respect yourself first, and everything else will follow.